Welcome to Tea with Jess. I'm Jess Montgomery, and I'm glad you're joining me today for a little tea break. As Nana says in my Kinship Mystery series, life is hard, have tea. So today's mug is my old trusty, faithful Writer's Digest mug from many years ago, um, which is appropriate because today is a deadline for my column that I'm writing for Writer's Digest. So I'm working on it along with my mug and my tea. And the tea I'm having today is Nina's Paris tea, um, which I minored in French in high school, but it's been a while, or in high school. I did take French in high school, but I minored in French in college. It's been a while since college too. But it says "Je t'aime," which means I love you, and I kind of think it says it's with a lot of passion and love that I made this tea. C'est avec beaucoup de passion et d'amour que j'ai fait Cité. I so apologize to anybody out there who is from France, has been to France, who knows French. It's been a while, so I just bungled my way through that. Obviously, I'm better at reading it than speaking it. But anyway, this Nina's Paris tea was a gift from, along with some great French cookies, was a gift from a book club in the Dayton area, a sorority alumni book club, which I thought was great. And they were very classy. And because they know about Tea with Jess, they sent along some tea. So I share that just because I thought it was really nice of them. And also to say, I do, just a little reminder, I do love to visit book clubs. I do them all on Zoom now, even with, and we'll continue to do it that way, even locally, and even with our COVID restrictions coming off in the next little bit. And it's one of the great things I've reaped, if you will, from this past year, that I can visit. I have a book club from Florida that just contacted me. I visited book clubs in Texas and in South Carolina. I've got one coming up in Nebraska, and it's just so nice to see book clubs from across the country. But even locally, it makes it possible for me to balance. By doing it via Zoom or Skype or FaceTime, it makes it possible for me to include book clubs in my working life. So just a little shout out about that. And today I promised, and I'm looking at my phone because I took screenshots, and we'll see how well I can share these. But I wanted to tell you about some films that my husband and I have been watching lately that I really liked. So one of the things I got him for Christmas last year was Broadway HD, which is slightly different than Broadway on Demand. But it's a paid subscription. But then you can pick shows that have been recorded, and they can be, classic, just exactly what you would think of. Shows from classic theater, comedies, drama, Broadway, musicals. And sometimes we've picked quirky things. So like this one, I want to share with you. If you can probably find this. If I hold it that way, maybe you can see the cover a little bit. There we go. You can probably find this on Amazon or YouTube as well if you don't have a broadcast HD subscription. But the show, it's been around a while, but it's totally new to us. It's called Ernest Shackleton Loves Me. And this show is a musical about a game music designer, a woman who creates like background music for video games, and who is a single mom, and she's got a little baby, and she's struggling, and it's a challenge. And one night, because she's been so sleep deprived, she conjures, more or less, Ernest Shackleton. And he's the explorer, of course, the famous explorer who um, rescued his men from death after their exploration um, went sideways, and so he was one of the great explorers. So it's kind of about bravery. Of course, all these shows are about something other than their premise. So it's really about bravery and finding, being true to yourself and creativity. Ernest Shackleton Loves Me. The other one that we watched that is pretty famous, based on a book, is Nomadland. So it's a mix of documentary and characters. The main character um, is very interesting, and she like leaves her town after she's in her 60s, and she ends up basically living in her van and becoming part of this sort of nomadic community in the country, the United States, of seniors who don't have enough money to truly retire, and so they make a living, working at Amazon or working at a gas station, or picking up money here and there. Kind of living on the road, and it's really heartfelt and touching. There's a lot of economic themes, but it's about finding community even when you're a nomad. This, to me, what it was about, and I really liked that. New to me, but also not particularly new, is Russian Doll. It came out February on Netflix, if you have Netflix. And it's created by Amy Poehler, so of course it's great, and Natasha Leon. I'm probably mispronouncing her name, just like I did the writing on the can of tea. And the premise is it's sort of a smart, sassy New York City version of Groundhog Day, but about a woman who, again, interestingly enough, creates creates game design, and she keeps dying. And there are I think only 8 episodes in this series, and they're like 30 to 40 minutes each. So it's a very quick watch if you like to binge. Um, I did binge it through, and then I had to rewatch it slowly because there's so much that's packed into each of these episodes. And it's not just about her dying and coming back. It's about it's really about embracing life, and like the little blurb on the front says, dying is easy, it's living that's hard. And accepting that, and accepting the hard things in your life, and going on to embrace life. um, the other one, again, pretty famous right now, that we watched recently, is Sound of Metal. Sound of Metal. It was nominated for an Oscar. I think Nomadland won. It's an Amazon original. Don't let that put you off. It's really good. I thought it was going to be about a band, a metal band, and it starts out that way. But again, it's these things. The good books and TV shows and movies are always about something else than the premise, than their hook. So you think you're going to watch this sort of indie film about a metal band drummer, and the main character is a metal band drummer, but he goes deaf, and as an adult suddenly. And you can imagine that as hard as that would be, let's make it worse. Oh, you're a musician. Let's make it even worse. You're in a metal band. Let's make it even worse for you to go deaf. You're a drummer in a metal band. So it really messes with his identity and his livelihood. And it again becomes about identity and how we see ourselves, and how we connect with community, even in the toughest circumstances like that. And it's quite beautiful, and well done, well written. Um, the ending left me with a lot of questions. I'll just say that. So if you watch it, leave a comment on this particular post and tell me what you thought. And then I'm going to conclude the fifth one I want to recommend, and I'll put all these titles in the comments later today, just so that it's easier to find these shows. Is a show that's been around a while, and it's probably been around since, I don't know, 2004 or something like that, but again, new to us because of Broadway on demand, and it's called Title of Show. Title of Show, in brackets, Title of Show. And it's a very meta show, because it's about these two guys who decide they want to enter a musical competition, musical show, brought like a music, writing a musical competition. And their process of creating that show, and then there are two women in the show as well who are part of the show. So it's just four people and a pianist and four chairs and a studio. Their process of creating this show is what the show's about. So it's a show about people creating a show to enter into a competition of shows. Talk about Russian nesting dolls. But it's really good. The music is wonderful, and as with the others, what it's really about. So we've got a theme here of, here's the premise, but here's what it's really about. What it's really about is embracing your own creative vision and overcoming your fears in making that vision come true. And if you don't, look any of these up, I encourage you to look up, and that's why I ended with this one, the song from Title of Show called 9 Favorite Things, because there's a wonderful line in it that says, I'd rather be 9 people's favorite thing than the 9th favorite thing of 100 people. So the idea is, wanting to be, to create something that's true to your own vision, even if it's not the most popular thing in the world, but you created it in your own vision. And because of that, it becomes at least some other people's favorite thing. Now, the lyrics do have a few F-bombs in them. So if you're put off by that, just be forewarned. If you're listening to it at home or at work, just be forewarned. But I really like that song. I've found a lot of inspiration in it. So those are my 5 favorite things lately, at least to share with you. So there you go. So thank you for joining me for Tea with Jess. Next week, I want you to know that Ashley Weaver, who's author of the Amory Ames mystery set in 1930s England, will be joining me. We're going to pre-record it because she is a librarian and has to be at work at 3:00. So we're just going to pre-record it, and then I will debut it. I'll debut that episode at 3 next Monday. So I'm excited to talk with her about her writing process, and also because she has a new series coming out that features Electra McDonald, featuring a safecracker who lives in England during World War II and uses those very interesting skills to be a female safecracker to help with the war effort. And I got to read an early copy and blurb it, so I was quite excited to be asked to do that. And the title of the book that's coming out next Tuesday, like I said, our episode will be next Monday. Her book comes out next Tuesday. It's called A Peculiar Combination, which fits very well with Electra being a safecracker. It's really good. I highly recommend it. I hope you'll join us for our little chat about her book, and I hope you'll look up her book and enjoy it yourself. So thank you for joining me, Jess Montgomery, for Tea with Jess. And until our next tea break, take care of yourself and your loved ones and have fun. I think that's always important. See you next Monday.